What's good, family? Welcome back to Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Jeff J on this side, Chrissy Bree on the other, and we are here to recap Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 3, Sleeping Dogs. Chrissy, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Another Monday in the books. How about you?
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling awesome. We got another dope episode to review, and as always, shout out to everybody watching with us live. Shout out always turning up in the chat. Shout out to all of y'all watching afterwards. Day one on the podcast wave. You already know, the audio only fam. We love y'all too. We definitely be tapping in. If you catching this on the replay, we tap in in the comments afterwards. Power After Hours Instagram, Power After Hours Twitter, Power After Hours on YouTube is how we rolling. All right. So let's get right into it. We're gonna talk about this Raising Kanan, man, and it's like Sleeping Dogs. I thought it was like a real appropriate title for this episode because few people out there got caught slipping. First off, Rock, I feel like got caught slipping this entire episode. What did you think about that? What did you think about the episode overall, Chrissy?
I don't know. I feel like last week's issue with the rats was kind of giving us a little insight into what was to come for maybe for the rest of the season. And I gotta say, like, if there was an episode for me that made me say, yo, Raising Kanan is my favorite power book right now, this was it. Like, I really enjoyed every aspect of this episode. You got to see the main character, Rock, who really has been a little cocky this season so far. She got rid of Unique and she's been taken over. And
Unique? every time I see him on the screen, Unique.
Like she took him down last season, and she just all of a sudden thinks like she runs the shit. She's got Basley's, she got the 40s. Now she want to expand to Jersey, and for Marvin to have been the dumbest dude last season, he making mad sense. You know what I mean? Like, bro was like, you making too many decisions too fast. And, I think that was also telling because it's like Rock is just doing everything that looks good and she's not thinking anything through. Like, so I think it was time for her to get caught slipping, but I don't think this is going to be the last time. I think we're going to see this season where she's really dealing with having to put her ego in check. And time after time in this episode, you're seeing things happen to her. And it's like, girl, when are you going to realize that you got to slow down a little bit? Take just a little bit of notes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, can we figure out what's going on in your house? You got issues at home, which is son. You're not really even dealing with that. And, you got issues in business with one of your brothers who wants really nothing to do with it because he's so hell-bent on being in the studio. Like, you got your own problems at home. So you trying to expand shouldn't even have been in the cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fact. And like you said, Marvin making sense is like a theme for this season so far, right? Because you even see it with his anger management. What he thought was a bullshit class, and what he probably still does. He's learning techniques. He learned the breathing technique on how to calm himself down in situations because he classifies himself as openly, like they classified him as openly aggressive because anytime somebody steps to him, as he said, he puts a foot in their ass. Yeah, right.
He handles it. Yeah.
And the therapist, the counselor, or I think I don't even know if it's therapist or counselor. She's a therapist or counselor. Yeah, it's just like I was about to say community organizer, but whoever be leading the meetings, meeting leader.
A little bit of everything.
Right. Like sprinkle it all in one. Right. Okay. Guten Tagen. Okay. But yeah. So when right. All right. Everybody relax. So when she brings that up to him and they give the breathing technique. He immediately applies it with homeboy, the OG in the wheelchair, who wants to press him out because, he don't care if he's getting paid off by Rock. He don't care. Yeah. Elevators still smell like piss. It's hard for him to get up because remember, this is the 90s, so wheelchair accessible and all that wasn't as widespread. So if you were living in those buildings and you had a disability, it was hard times for you. You know what I'm saying? And the old Marvin would have probably threw him off the chair and beat him down and made him an example. But when he does the breathing exercise and he realizes, okay, I can eat that, like it's not that serious, he could see that it's working and there's a different path to doing things.
It was a woo-saw type thing, right? It was almost like he literally was saying to himself, like, woo-saw. Like, it just reminded me of Bad Boys. Remember when Martin's character is like, woo-saw? And I think that was the second movie.
Yeah, Bad Boys 2, yeah.
Captain did it, and so then Martin started doing it in the second one. So, yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Essentially, maybe Martin Lawrence's character is Marvin in that way. Like, they both were just angry and aggressive, and you just want to be like, bro, what's wrong with you? Calm down, take a minute. But Marvin, I love that he's kind of starting to get in tune with his emotions, because through it all, he's realizing the mistakes that he made as a father. And I think that's what's going to be what's most important that comes out of this, because as we know, LaToya Luckett is a coming. Okay.
Right. So that's going to throw a wrench into everything. Shout out to HFG. What's up, HFG? Marvin is showing real growth. And I think you can even see that when he has that conversation with Lou. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, like, did you ask about me? And he even says it like, I really fucked it up. Yeah. And Lou was like, yeah, you did. And you can see that he felt that
in that moment. Yeah, that was wrong of Lou to say. And by the time Lou realized it, he caught it too late. Like, Marvin needed somebody to talk to about how to fix the fuck up. And he wanted Lou to be that person, but Lou dropped the ball. Honestly, Lou has been dropping the ball all season. Like, I don't even know what ball he got. You know what I mean? Like, he's on a basketball court with a football. You feel me? Like, wrong day of the week. Like, shit's all fucked up. Like, I need Lou to get back to the Lou we saw before he almost got burned to death. Okay? Right. I mean, I get it. Near-death situations, you change. But we can even get into that, right? Because when Rock is so we start off the episode unique because of what his baby mom told him. He probably put two and two together and said, okay, you saw her at a random bodega. That can't be that walking out. The owner. Right. There's got to be something else. There's got to be something else going on. So he pulls up on Juliana and basically kidnaps her and takes all of Rock's money. And Rock doesn't realize it until late because she has other ambitions. Now she wants to expand. She wants to go to Jersey. Worrell got cousins out in Jersey. So she wants to she said she's bringing the franchise model of drug dealing to New Jersey, right? Once again, Marvin, the voice of reason, right? Marvin being the voice of reason and saying, yo, we might be moving too fast. But Rock is in a position right now where I think she has a lot of hubris, right? Where she's won. In her mind, she's won. She eliminated her main rival. She has a whole new connect. She has a foolproof distribution plan. Can nobody tell her nothing? And that's the problem. Can't nobody tell her nothing, right? Because she can't be told where she might need to relax a little. She's now erected a blind spot, right? And that's what happens when she pulls up and she sees that she rolls in the spot and sees that everything is gone, right? And initially she jumps to the conclusion. She thinks, could Juliana have done it? But then she realizes, no, this got to be somebody else. You put two and two together. Who the enemies you got?
And it's
only
unique.
one.
Unique.
Like unique. Like seriously though, if sis took your money, would she have left the cash register open? Her drink is still open on this. Like none of it made sense with the way that things were happening, right? Like what got me was that he took the time to kidnap her, but sis still took the time to lock up. Like let me lock my.
Well, he probably did that to like buy him some more time, because if you lock the door and it's closed, right?
People would probably it would cause a
yeah. You just go to the next spot. You just go to the next spot, because if somebody rolls in, it's like, yo. Yeah. Also, you roll in the spot, she could get robbed. People could take shit, and nobody's there. So word would have probably got back to Rock quicker that something was gone. You know what I mean?
Unique is smart though. I mean, for him to even figure that out just with, his girl leaving those little pieces of the fact that Rock was there. But for real though, Rock is rolling up to this small ass bodega, right? Wearing the latest Gucci, Prada, wipe me down outfit. Okay. Like, and you don't think for some reason that any dope boy on the street is gonna realize something's off about that. Anybody who's smart would put two and two together. Like, had Unique ever actually seen that type of Rock roll up to this bodega and make her way to the back? Like, it only was a matter of time before that bodega was robbed. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, it just didn't even make sense. I feel like Rock, as smart as she was in season 1, her winning has messed up the drive that she had to really want to be the best. Like she feels like she's the best, and so she's making these dumb mistakes. Like she was smarter in season 1. It's almost like a disappointment. Like and the way she felt when he told her you won, I just feel like that's all she wanted to hear was for Unique to tell her that she won. And it's like, sis, there's bigger fish to fry here. You got real problems. Like if that's what you need to hear.
Right.
So I'm looking at Rock differently now.
Yeah. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast, season 2, episode 3, Raising Kanan, Sleeping Dogs. Let's talk about Unique, man. Unique. He like the power moves that he made. This is a dude who literally has nothing to lose at this point. And he realizes it, and for everything that he's been through, this character has always been someone who's been calculated, right? Doesn't really move by emotion or anything like that. He has some type of plan. And him and Rock when they have that conversation, he kind of alludes to it like, yo, y'all, we're kind of like alike. And that's probably why they butted heads and it was such a competition, right? He knew, okay, I found her stash. Her connect don't want to die. I don't know if he put the 2 and 2 together that Juliana was related to the connect. Maybe that would have been a bonus. He didn't say anything about that, so he didn't even know that. So that was him having even more aces up his sleeve that he didn't even realize he had up his sleeve, right? He robs the spot, he stashes it, doesn't do anything to it, stashes it, and has Juliana there hostage, right? Because he knows this is somebody that's important to you if you want to keep your front going, and I have what you need. Because you got a new connect. He does know that she got the Columbia connect and knows she's gonna need that money to re-up. No money, if you're not liquid, then you in trouble, right? So he put all of that together, hollered at World to put the deal, and he even knew he had a sense of security that even Rock and them didn't know. Because even when they're having that conversation where they say, he ain't gonna walk out of here, alive and whatnot, he flips it on him. Okay, you kill me, you'll never know where your money is. And all I want to do is retire. You won. I just want to live comfortable. I want to live in peace because I know as long as I'm out here, there's still a target on my back. Yeah. So I do this. And he had a great line about what peace looks like. And because even Marvin was like, you wanted peace by robbing us and taking Juliana. Like, this is what you consider peace, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the kind of peace where he has control, where you know that he is a wild element. He's a wild card in the game, and anything can happen. So if you leave me alone, I leave you alone. But if you don't, then I can hit you in any which way. So I think you got to tip the cap to Unique and what he was doing and how he moved, because I don't see what the true end game is for him. Maybe he tries to back in with another crew. Maybe he tries to build himself up another way, even though he's quote unquote retired. But this was the best way for him to get revenge in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and I love when they said, like, why don't you go somewhere else? And he said, well, somewhere else there's already a Unique and probably already a Rock. And I was like, yo, that's actually a very valid point. Like, he can't just go anywhere else. Like, this is where he wants to be. This is where, his family is. He's got his kids, he's got his girl, and he just wants to be at peace. My dude is just trying to chill, but I don't believe him for 1 second. Like, Unique is crazy. All right. Like, I firmly believe this man is nuts. I don't trust him. And I feel like there's always an ulterior motive. So right now he may be correct in the fact that he needs to lay low, because every time like he said, if I put up a lemonade stand, they shut my shit down. And that's accurate, because according to them, you tried to kill a cop. You know what I mean? Like, they are, even though he wasn't, found guilty of it, he is
still a target on his back,
presumed to have done it. So it's like, you still got to have that issue. So it's not like he can run an operation, but do I think he could front somebody else's to take Rock down? Absolutely. And I still don't trust Warrell either. It's a lot. I know, something about it, like, it just is, I don't know how you can actually trust the person that, one, tried to kill your brother, but two, was with the ops. Like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it.
Right. I hear you. Let's see what the people are saying. Jaleel, what up, Jaleel? Nick definitely not out the game. He gonna link up with them Italians. Yeah, talking about what we saw in the preview for episode 4, when you go into Jersey, we getting into Soprano territory. You heard? Like, they like, yo, young lady, you're in my territory. You're doing too much right now. You're doing too much. So we'll see.
Cigar.
Right, exactly. Greenfly, what's up? Retire, yeah, right. He'll be back before the end of the season. Yeah, I don't think he's out of the game either. Jacoby, what's up? Remember, Unique was working with Howard. Now you're gonna hit up the Italians. Italians gonna play both sides, especially the fact that she's moving into a different territory where they would leave New York alone. They would leave New Jersey alone. Now, I will say this. I think Rock definitely had the right idea. I think she had the right idea for expansion. I don't know if that was the right time, because her method for expansion was just to move in.
Right.
Just a period move in. Not even to test the temperature to see who's moving or shaking in there. Is there some type of like, there are smarter ways to do it. This is really like Rock is becoming a Game of Thrones character with how she acts against her own self-interest because of arrogance and hubris, right? And those things usually come back to bite you in the end, right? When there's a right path and you say, nah, I'm gonna do this because I'm that dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
that chick.
Right. It's gonna be all right. Relax. I was speaking in eyes. I wasn't speaking in rocks. Okay. So I wasn't speaking in rocks. I was speaking in eyes. So yeah. So to prove that that bitch, that chick, is that better? So either way, she gonna catch a bad one because she moving into territory that she don't know.
Like Unique said, there's always going to already be a Unique and a Rock. Like, and I think, honestly, it makes me think that Unique is actually smarter than what he's been portrayed to be all of last season and the beginning of this season, because you should never move your game into a territory without at least surveying the territory. Like, do you think like a big Fortune 500 company is going to come in and try to take over another company without doing their research? Nah, you want to know that this is going to work for you, that you have the right, the right skills, you're in the right areas. You got to know the people on the street. Rock ain't do shit. He just got a house and was like, we doing it.
Right. I love how they brought Worrell in, and then he was just like, yo, I just got the call. And they like, yeah, you probably still with him. Like, you going in first. We bringing you in. We still can't trust you as far as we can throw you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just hilarious. It's just really, really hilarious. And the thing is, it's like you had mentioned before about how they said, mixing the business and like, how would they work with somebody who try to kill him? And I think Lou kind of hit it on the head. Even the fact that this man Lou would work with dude who tried to kill him, and then he kind of was on the side where he was just like, yo, let's just piece it up. And they're like, yo, he tried to kill you. And he's like, yeah, he did. We tried to kill him too. And it ain't personal. It was never personal. And it's like, right, he's like, just business, my brother. Like, that's what it was. It wasn't like he wanted to. It was because they felt like they had to. So Lou was ready to be super forgiving. In fact, Lou is just over all this shit. Like, you see it with him in the studio. He ignored the calls when Rock was trying to page him. Then when Rock rolls up, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when they gotta have it out, where she's like, yo, it's time for you to boss up in the real family business. We got folk. Yeah, like, you gonna work your real job today. God, you know what I'm saying?
What how did you get this studio? Like, for real. But you know what? Lou actually says something smart in that moment too, because he tells them, like, if we were to kill Unique at this point right here, everybody will know it. Not only will the cops know it, the streets will know it. We got to be smart about this, guys. Like, there was like literally a million reasons why Unique knew he was going to make it out alive that night. Like, right. It didn't matter what he did. He knows they can't touch him right here. So Lou is just, even though he makes smart decisions, he's the thinker, right? Like, he likes to think it through before they do something. Like, you really being dumb in this studio right here. And I'm about tired. I am tired of seeing this dude mixing a record. If you don't get your ass on that street with your weapon.
Now, that beat was kind of fire, though. I ain't going to hold you. Like, I was like, I was like, okay.
Next thing you know, guys, Jeff is going to come in with the new Power After Hours song, and it's going to be the beat that Lou was cooking up over here. It was some New Jack. It was some New Jack swing in that motherfucker. I ain't going to hold you. It was kind of fire. Don't make him feel any better about this than he needs to. Lou needs to quit the studio. It was shit, Lou. I didn't like it. Nobody's gonna like it. That's what he needs to be told so that he can just leave the studio alone.
I mean, well, after hearing Jukebox saying you can't tell him nothing because she smoked that shit. She smoked that shit. God, like, it was like I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay, you was like, I'm getting these bars off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm straight getting these bars off.
I forgot because I was like in a zone. I was like, oh, I had my eyes closed. I was like, oh, okay. Sis has a voice. Like, what's her name in real life? I can't remember, but I know that she has she's got a background, you know what I mean, in the arts. So, but her voice is spectacular. Like, it's clean. Like, I don't even know how many times she had to shoot that part of the show, but let me tell you something. That song could be a real song, and I would be vibing to that shit every single
Haley Kilgore is her name. Haley Kilgore. Yes. She's Thank you, y'all. Shout out to Roz.
I don't have my real glasses on, guys, so I can't see shit.
Oh yeah, she got her stunner frames on. She got don't got
my blue.
She don't got the prescriptions. You know what I'm saying? She don't got the prescriptions.
Jeff. I was working.
All right. All right. We see you, sis. We see you. We appreciate you. All right. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. She acted up. We here. The chat is here. The podcast fam is here. The after hours watching fam is here. Watches after the record. Love to y'all all. Get in the comments. You already know the fives. Crown Camacho is really trying to make. Listen, Crown Camacho, Macho Camacho. That man wants Lou out of his face. Okay,
I'm with him.
Out of his face. Out of his face. And he sees the opportunity. I like what homeboy the street producer.
Like, I look at him as if he's the bodyguard. He's so big.
Right.
Like,
Cartier. Yeah. Like what Wanderer says. Really? Why your man Cartier look like a crocodile in a suit? She is an artist. Artist. Word. My man Carter. But yo, that man wanted, he's doing too much. Like, shout out to Roz. He not gonna make it through the season. I don't know, man. Like he keep that going, you know what I'm saying? But he listens and he's basically pitching, goes to talks to Rock, basically pitching the Rock that, hey, if you want him out, I'll sell you a piece of the label. Just get Lou back on the streets.
He's gonna give her the whole damn thing.
Yo, I've never heard a business proposal where you want somebody to go back to the streets.
Listen,
that man is fed up.
I'm not mad at it though. The point of it is he gotta go. I don't want Lou there. Rock don't want him. Roz don't want him there. Roz don't want him there. Rock don't want him there. Nobody want him to get Lou out the stew. That needs to be the hashtag. Get Lou out the stew. And I promise y'all I will have a shirt made with that hashtag next week. I stand behind it. I'm tired of this dude in the studio acting like he know what he doing. He don't know. And stop acting like you went to Joshua Tree after your ass got lit up in your house. Like, get it together, Lou. All right? Get it together. Do your real job. The illegal one.
Tell him how you really feel, Chris. Not even feel. All right, they want Lou to get the hell out the studio. And Martin poses another good question. We're gonna talk about how Kanan keeps stealing from his own people. Let's have a conversation about that. The only way, if you are famous, Puerto Rican famous, and the only way your mixtapes could move is if they're actually drugs, it's time to find. And UPS is hiring. UPS is hiring at this point. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring because but this dude Kanan, once again, every time he says he's out the game, he's super intelligent, but he does stupid shit. He's super intelligent who does stupid shit, and he takes it because he knows he could do it. And they did make that bread. And what's ill about it is they got popped by the cops because they thought they were selling drugs the first time. And now the cops just look at them like, oh, that bullshit mixtape, you ain't moving nothing. But they actually moving.
They were moving to the poor. People were buying two. Like, can I get two famouses, please? Like, bro, really? This is what we're doing? Like,
let me get that famous.
But let's not act like the famous song wasn't lit now. Okay, we was all jamming last season. Please stop acting. We loved it, okay? But I get it. You hot one day, not the next. So it's, one hit wonder. I do believe because everyone keeps telling Famous that he is talented if he focuses on what he needs to do for real, and get back to writing. I do believe he has a future in it. So I'm hoping that because they keep bringing that up, that at some point, either this season or the next, should he live to see it, that he'll, because you never know, Power. You could die at the drop of a hat. People just be dying on this show, and you'd be like, man, what? Like, what? Why? Why is he dead? So yeah, hopefully he'll make it, and he can get back on track.
Right.
Everybody believes in him, but him.
Yeah, you definitely right. And while he's making those moves, with Famous, this is another way why how Rock is messing up. She keeps telling Kanan, yo, Howard come around, he's crazy and whatnot, and Howard comes through and actually drops some of the realest stuff Kanan's ever heard, and lets him know, yeah, I am your dad. Yeah, your mom was gonna say it's crazy. We could get into all of that later, but I'm letting you know. One, I'm letting you know that is true. I didn't believe it, and two, I know that you shot me, and that's why I'm being a dad, because I'm holding you down. I took a bullet from you. Now I'm taking a bullet for you. That was a bar. That was a big bar, and that shook Kanan up.
I was like, damn, okay. And that's another place that Rock is losing, right? Because the old Rock would have come up with a better story for Kanan to believe. Like, for your son to come to you and be like, yeah, this man just told me he's my dad. Your reasoning is really that he's crazy. And you say that he came to you and said the same thing, but you say that he's Looney Tunes, and like none of that actually made sense. And I do believe that Kanan is smart enough to know that she's lying to him at this point. Like, she's lied to you enough, and you've caught her in enough lies to know that, like, this man is your pappy. Like, it just is what it is. Like, we don't know if Kanan actually knew that his dad was a cop. So to me, after, he said what he said about him taking the bullet, you could see in Kanan's eyes, not only was he about to cry, but he felt that shit. He felt that shit. And there's something in the power of a child knowing their parents. And I truly believe that in that moment, Kanan knows that's his dad. Because he brought the fact about you thinking DEF CON is your dad. So he knows enough that I believe that Kanan is going to believe him over his mom.
And I'm still fascinated with finding out how, when Kanan makes that flip in his personality, because you could tell he still feels a whole lot of compassion. Yes. When he finds out that Scrap died and killed himself, he starts putting things together. Like, he can see through a lot of stuff. That's why he goes systematically from step to step. Like, yo, Scrap was selling drugs. Scrap was getting gambling money with his moms. Why would he kill himself? Of course, depression works different like that. Right. He liked the patch. He did all this. He did all that. That would have been a whole lot of fronting for someone to kill himself. So, and then my mom didn't tell me. Then when he goes to speak to him, she says, oh, I was going to tell you. And then I had a lot going on. Then just said, Scrap made his decision and now we got to live for it. Kind of like yada, yada, yada ain't past what happened with Scrap. So now that he has that more than reasonable doubt that she's telling the truth about Howard, and probably believes Howard at this point, once he starts piecing everything together, it's going to become, who can you believe?
Who can you believe? And honestly, it should never be Rock. At this point, it should never be Rock. She never says anything that's the truth. And it's like, girl, at what point are you going to start to actually, be honest with your son? Because part of me thinks that Kanan's turn is going to come from all of the wrong that his mom has done, right? Like, because you look at this kid and you want to see the best in him, because he is essentially, besides the fact that he done killed or is tempted to kill a cop and already killed one other person, like, you can see that he wants to be a good person. So what makes him become the Kanan that we knew? And what makes Jukebox become the Juke that we knew? Like, there's so many questions that I have and so many ways they could take it. And it's just like, I want Rock to realize that she needs to be a better parent, but I don't think she has it in her.
Right. Exactly. A lot of secrets on the table. Everybody got secrets. Howard's partner Bert got secrets. Rock got secrets. Lulu got secrets. Everybody got secrets, and it seems like it's unraveling now. And when we get to those truths, what's going to happen? Yeah. What's going to happen?
Finna be real. But I will say the funniest moment of this episode came when they were in the studio with Juke, and Crown was talking to her about, like,
the clothes.
When that dude said to her, part when he said, like, you supposed to look like a bitch that niggas want to fuck with, but when I close my eyes, it's like I'm loving you. But I open my eyes and it's like, who is this bitch from New Edition? I felt out my seat. Something wrong with that dude.
This man was bugging. And it's like, yo, you really don't know time and place, because he's saying all this shit in front of Lou, and he's like, yo, this is my fucking niece. This is my young niece. You're like, dog, she need to hear this. Da 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 da. I'm like, fam, you got no inside voice. You have no tact. You have no type of home training. You know what I'm saying? And fucked up for those like times. You know, Ratchet Studios even says that he was 100% on point with that, especially for those times. Not to say that he was right, but the state of female artistry is like, yo, if you weren't selling, and it's, you can even say it's still like that now, right? If you're not selling some type of sex appeal, you might not be selling, or there might not be an interest in you, and very few artists and very few studios want to be the ones to take the chance of someone who wants to go left when everybody else is going right. So yeah, like it was just like the whole conversation. I'm like, yo, how is Crown still got all the teeth in his mouth? Like Lou should have been knocked him out.
Okay, but the thing about it was, as much as Lou wanted to knock him out, Lou knew what he was saying was correct. I firmly believe that, because Crown,
he did.
Crown was even like, why did you bring it? What's her name? Zisa? The reason you brought in Zisa was because of why? Like, what you see is what you get. And right. In those times, as great as her voice is, it just wasn't going to work. I do believe that they're going to end up taking her music and giving it to Zisa. And that may be the turning point for Young Juke. But you know what I mean? Like, she's so talented, and it sucks that she ended up how she did in the regular Power because of that talent. But yo, like I promise you, when that part came, I had to pause because I was laughing so hard. I was like, damn, what would bring you to say something like that?
Yeah, because it's like, yo, fam, like what? Yeah, I was like, what? Like whoever wrote that, it's like, yo, you must got all the jokes. Because I was like, yo, like who fucking thinks of that? But in that time, and then for that time period, that joke was like 100 out of 100, 100 out of 10. Yo, like, oh my God, yo, dudes would have been in the lunchroom scream laughing that whole time. Let's see what the chat got to say. Roz, attractiveness plays so many factors in how you move in this world, especially as a woman. Retweet. Juke's unwillingness to accept reality probably is what hinders career upon other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Greenfly, Crown's gonna use Juke's voice behind Lou's back on some lip stinking stuff, Billy Vanilli style. Yup, I believe that. I believe that
it's
for
sad.
sure.
It's unfortunate, but I definitely think that's what's coming for her, because what she writes is also really good too. You got to think about that, like, and that's a lucrative career to be a songwriter. You look at somebody like, in today's time, Candy, who has written some of the biggest hits that we know. You know what I mean? But
legs and hips and body.
You are done for the evening. But I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Juke sitting there singing and I saw that shirt, it definitely brought me back to like Boys to Men, Motown Philly. Like with the shirt screams like Motown Philly. So when he made the joke about New Edition, that's why it was like added for me.
Yeah,
it just was too much.
The rugby the big shades. It was just really hilarious. And the funny part about it is that's how girls used to dress. But then it's like, if you want to be an artist. If you want to be an artist, you can't dress the same way you like. It's ill when you think about it, but that's what it was back then. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody is Aaliyah, okay? The way Aaliyah used to be able to rock shit like that was right around the time, like Total. You know what I'm saying? You know how Total used to rock the big shirts and it took a while for women to be able to be themselves through fashion. Like it wasn't like that back then, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you got on this episode before we get out of here?
Damn, I feel like so much happened in this episode, but it's just like Rock and the money, Rock fucking
Jukebox
up.
found her mama. Found her mama in the church.
Howard's partner, I think, is going to be a problem moving forward.
Oh yeah, big stalking.
She's doing a lot. Yeah, something tells me she's going to put 2 and 2 together. I don't think she's going to make it out of this season.
I wonder what she got. I wonder what she got that we don't know. I mean, well, she is helping out Juke a lot of stuff. Like, she's really invested in Juke, and that might be her downfall as well.
Because
you know what I'm
sees
saying?
Herself in her, I think, in a lot of different ways. Because you got to think about it now. We know she is also a lesbian. I mean, if we didn't already know that, but we've seen the scene in this episode with her and her girlfriend. So I think she sees a lot of herself in Juke and just wants better for her because she knows the lifestyle in which she's being put into via her family. But I something about that girl, I just don't think she's gonna make it out of this season, because if Howard was able to live, she gonna die. She gotta go. And I think Howard is gonna be the one that does it. Hold my prediction. My prediction.
She's locked in. She's ready to go. And so some people talking about Howard and the prostitute, that whole conversation. We should put up green fly. That whole thing about talking about that man brought up the kid's point, and it was funny because I got what he was saying, but in the context, without the context that his woman of the night didn't have. You know what I'm saying? She blacked out. She was like, yeah, because his whole point is like, kids are smarter than they know, and they know something, even referencing Kanan and saying that's the thing. And he basically backdoor like, your son know that you be fucking, right? Like, for money. And that's how it came off. And she blacked out, and rightfully so. Like, just pay me my money, sir. I didn't. She's like treating him like how people treat Uber drivers, that they don't want them to talk to them. It's like, shush, please. I don't need to hear all of that. So I'm telling you. So it just all of that. Yeah, we talked about the elevator scene. Jaleel says Burke needs to mind her own business, and that what happens when power characters don't mind their business.
I'm just telling you, I don't think she's gonna make it out of the season, and I think it's gonna have to be Howard who takes her out, because she's going to figure out that Kanan was the one who did it, and he's gonna have to choose his son or his shield, essentially him being a cop. And I think it's going to end up being that he chooses Kanan. And so Kanan made a big mistake. He shot a cop, but you know what, his mom put him in that fucking situation. Rock really ain't shit, and that's another thing Kanan has to come to terms with. The fact that his mother knew that this was his father, and you still let me go and try to kill that man. It's fucked up any way you look at it.
100%. And you know what they say, if you're gonna shoot a cop, make sure that it's family. All right, so at least in the Power universe, if you're gonna shoot a cop, make sure that you're shooting family, right? Because clearly he's gonna be good.
Bruh, you know what? Let's end this.
I'm just saying, because if that was any other person, they'd be under the jail. But no, but you my son.
That me saying Symphony is a Fed is far-fetched. What the fuck is you talking about right now? Like, at least mine made sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
mine doesn't make sense because it's a joke. Imagine being you thinking Symphony is a Fed and thinking that it's dead ass.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
So yes, that is it. That does it for Power After Hours, your favorite Power podcast. Power After Hours on Twitter, Power After Hours on Instagram, Power After Hours on YouTube. Subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Best Power community on the internet today. Chrissy, where can they find you on social?
Guys, find me everywhere at Chrissy B. Davis, literally everywhere, from Pinterest all the way to LinkedIn. What about you, Jeff?
Love it. I am Jeff J. Says on all social media. Follow us everywhere where you listen to podcasts, where you watch podcasts. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you on a delay? Because I had already caught myself. Thank you very much. Wherever you listen to podcasts, all social media platforms, on YouTube. As we say, the more you subscribe, the more we can build and give you more of this show. Best community all of y'all. Rady says it's too soon. Sometimes we can wrap it up quick, girl. We ain't trying to be here for 2 hours, all right? Thank you very much.
Y'all got
love
mad
to
at us
y'all.
last week for being too soon. Last week we was only here for an hour. Y'all just miss us. I get it. I miss me
Right,
too.
right. That makes one of us. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, we will check you. HFD, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Before we get out of here, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for dropping us a super chat. Great recap and discussion. We really appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. All right, we out of here. Go Serena Williams. Keep the party going. We out. Peace.
Peace.